what we're asking about here is the question of neural determinism versus individual responsibility. And this is a thorny problem that humans have been struggling with for millennia. To what extent do I really have the freedom to choose my actions? And to what extent are my actions determined from the motion of atoms in my brain that are set forward hours ago? And I firmly believe that we have choice within constraints. So we do have constraints. I can't choose to play golf like Tiger Woods. I don't have that power of choice. There are constraints set by my body and my brain. I can't choose to write a concerto tomorrow like Mozart wrote concertos. There are constraints within my nervous system. So there are real constraints on our behavior. I may get angrier easier than one of my brothers because there are just fundamental nervous connections that are different between the two of us. But I am not a determinist in the sense that I believe that all of our behavior is completely determined by neural activity. I think that our behavior is constrained and mediated by neural activity, but not determined. And I believe that I really have an element of choice. I can choose to act in one way versus another way, and that element of choice is meaningful. Now, we don't understand what that means in neurobiological terms. We don't understand what it means to say that we have choice, but that choice is mediated by neural mechanisms. As soon as you say the word mechanism, we usually start thinking determination. And we don't understand this yet. But I would say that this is an incredibly important problem, and it will continue to become more important. As we learn more about the nervous system, we're seeing neural data being brought into courtrooms in defenses of criminal behavior or as exculpatory evidence for criminal behavior. And to some extent, this is not new, right? We've always, in Anglo-American Western jurisprudence, we've always had rulings in law for diminished capacity. I mean, we all know that certain brains are not capable of making decisions and being responsible the way other brains are. But how far we take that kind of reasoning is a big question mark and a really important area of research for neuroscience in the future. But this isn't just a neuroscientific question. It's for society at large to say, what do we do with neuroscientific data, and how do we reason about it, and what does it mean for personal responsibility? But I believe we have freedom of choice to some extent. I believe that that freedom also has underlying mechanisms, and I acknowledge that there's tension between those two levels of explanation. But I think we have to come to some insight about how those things are related.